California. Mr. Garcia, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to both the witnesses for this testimony. Very eye-opening as someone who drives an electric vehicle. I knew there were a lot of unknowns, but seeing that video, I certainly will be parking in the driveway from here on out. I want to thank you for putting a bright light on these issues around the potential fire dangers of EVs. Chief, thank you for your service. Doctor, thank you for everything you do for our great country. When you look at the potential energy, if you will, of an electric vehicle, lithium ion, any sort of lithium-based battery, it's substantial. But when you look at actual other projects that we're looking at throughout the nation relative to electric storage, it makes an electric vehicle look tiny. Next door to you in LA County, where I represent Southern California, North LA County, Acton, Agua Dulce area, they are installing something that is called a battery electric storage system, which is a huge facility full of lithium battery capacitors, capacity basically being kept there while other sources of electric energy are being pushed to that site. And so, Chief, you're the fire chief of San Bernardino County. I know you don't work in LA County, but we're neighbors, and sometimes our sparks turn into your flames and vice versa. So this is an issue that may actually reach out and touch you. But I want to play a quick game of good idea, bad idea. And these aren't trick questions, by the way. This isn't the oversight, the other oversight committee. But and I'll go first. Is it a good idea to have large battery facilities, large battery storage facilities, for the purpose of making sure that the grid can handle some of the demands that we have? I would say that's a good idea. I think we need to have electric storage facilities. I think long-term, when we look at a holistic approach, we've got to have all types of energy coming to, especially Southern California. So I would say that is a good idea. Go ahead.
So you mean a battery storage facility that's properly engineered to prevent
Correct.
fire?
Yeah, that's what. And yeah, a lot of assumptions that go into that, and this is where the good idea, bad idea to you comes from. Would you consider it a good idea or a bad idea to put a facility like that next to either the I-15 in your case, or in my case, the 14 freeway, which is the major choke point, biggest freeway, one of the biggest freeways in Southern California? Is that a good idea or a bad idea? Literally, 200 yards off the freeway.
It's a local policy decision. If, as a fire chief, I would say that if that is a well-engineered, well-maintained, well-monitored system, then there's going to be a low risk and a low frequency. If there was an ignition, though, that is going to be an extremely hard fire to suppress in a short amount of time. And that could cause some economic damage to the city.
Yeah, and like you said, major commerce corridor for Southern California. Same kind of good idea, bad idea. If in between that freeway and this battery storage facility, there's actually a railroad, which is one of the corridors being looked at for high-speed rail as well, would you put that in the good idea or bad idea bucket, with the same caveats that you don't work there, you don't work in LA County? It's well engineered, but is it a good idea or a bad idea?
We get these questions too from our cities that are looking at putting these battery systems near infrastructure, critical infrastructure, near schools, near residential neighborhoods, near freeways. And as we look at population density and the density in our communities, it's going to be necessary to put these systems somewhere in the near future. Again, I'll go back to it must be well maintained, it must be well engineered, it must be well monitored. And if that's the case, you're going to have a low risk, low frequency. But if any of those are violated, you're going to have a higher risk and a higher frequency for ignition.
Potentially catastrophic results as a result of those things. For the sake of time, I'll condense the last few, but I want to just make a point to my colleagues. I'm not speaking to our two witnesses here, but in LA County, they have decided to put one of these BESS facilities, battery electronic storage system facilities, massive facilities, next to the 14 with a railroad going by it. Within a couple miles of a large water reservoir that feeds about hydrates about 250,000 folks. It already has existing large gauge transmission wires overhead, so that if something happens below them, they are going to be compromised. And it's surrounded by some of the largest wildlands in Acton and Agua Dulce in terms of the amount of BTUs in those wildlands right now. Probably the highest potential energy of fuel. And so, I guess my message is I appreciate what you guys have highlighted today, the risks, the concerns of an electric vehicle, And to my colleagues in LA County, this BESS facility being discussed in Acton is, in my opinion, setting us up for failure. And if anything goes wrong, we are going to recognize one of the biggest catastrophic losses of life and resources, and hopefully they can reconsider, to the points that you made, Chief, everything that we've discussed around this. So with that, I yield back. Thank you.
Gentleman yields back. We'll hear next from the ranking member of the full committee.